Part 3. Cash Register Synchronicity Consumer Recreation Services. From the 17th and 18th of 2019. Let's read a quote from Jung about synchronicity. Before I give you the 12 from yesterday. I gave you the 12 from Wednesday, now the 12 from yesterday. The fact that there were 12 2 days in a row like that is quite stunning to me. I did not count them up until this morning. So let's do 3 quotes from Carl Jung. We often, about synchronicity, the term that he coined. This is from Synchronicity and a Causal Connecting Principle by Carl Jung. We often dream about people from whom we receive a letter by the next post. I have ascertained several occasions that at the moment when the dream occurred, the letter was already lying in the post office of the addressee. Let's read another one. We put 30 spokes together and call it a wheel. But it is on the space where there is nothing that the utility of the wheel depends. We turn clay to make a vessel, but it is on the space where there is nothing that the utility of the vessel depends. Vessel. We pierce doors and windows to make a house, and it is on 3 spaces where there is nothing. It is on these spaces where there is nothing that the utility of the house depends. Therefore, just as we take advantage of what is, we should recognize the utility of what is not. Because the eye gazes but can catch no glimpse of it, it is called elusive. Because the ear listens but cannot hear it, it is called the rarefied. Because the hand feels for it but cannot find it, it is called the infinitesimal. These are called the shapeless shapes, forms without form, vague semblances. Go towards them, and you can see no front. Go after them, and you see no rear. Here's C.G. Jung, Synchronicity. Jung introduced the idea of synchronicity to strip off the fantasy, magic, and superstition which surround and are provoked by unpredictable, startling, and impressive events that, like these, appear to be connected. To strip off the fantasy, magic, and superstition which surround them. To demystify. Which is absolutely what has to be done, because every time I share these with people, the superstitious responses I hear, that's what this is. Instead of making this, an object of scientific inquiry and seeking to have knowledge of it, people stop short of that and they just get superstitious and they say things like, should I play the lottery number? They try to make light of it. It's not seen as serious and as important, when it should obviously be. So there's the 12 from yesterday. There's more than the dollars, right? Yes, there is. There's more. I for one do not have any interest in being an automaton, just having automatic responses to everything, and automatic that binary responses. No thank you. 11:17 a.m., 7 items. Look at the change, 57 cents. And then the total, 1943. What's 4 plus 3? Yes, S even. 7 of the sever of September. 5 and 7, 12. 1, 2, tree. 12 and 3. We are currently in the northern hemisphere on the trajectory of Jack, of all subjects and objects and jackets and jackals and Jekylls and Hydes, going from 3 to 12, from Aries to Taurus to Gemini to Cancer, or from the cerebram of Sarah Abram of the brain tree of 3 in the east at the equator of equations of ether, of the quintessence, the 5th letter, E, of everything, of even dawn and evening, of Adam and Eve. Cerebram of Aries, the ram or the lamb of Passover, the equator of Taurus to Taurus, in the cerebellum or the back of the brain, and in the throat or the neck that connects Torot, Taurus, story. There was no literal fall. Adam and Eve is a story relating to astrology. And then Gemini in the arms and the lungs, Castor and Pollux, of the pillars, of the twins, of the twilight, Z1, of the towers, of the pines, of the peaks, of the peak, the crest of the wave of the Christ, of the sun in the year, to the breastbone of the crab, Cancer, of the answer, the question, and the answer, the one swear, of the Cancer, of Sirius, Osiris, Serapis, Isidore, gift of Isis, the god S. At 11:19 a.m., the total was 97.19. 19 cents at the end of the total on the 19th minute of the hour. 36 items, 369 of 2019. 2 and 1, 3 plus 9, 12, 1, 2, 3 of the tree of Aries, and the invoice number 6996. There's one coming up in here that has a story going with it that is quite big. 11:40 a.m., 16 items, invoice number 7007. Remember, Christ equals 77. 16 items, 1 and 6, 7, 11:40 of the quarantine, of the coffee. $40 total at 11:40 and 34 cents. 40 of the quagmire of Aqua Osiris, Aquarius in the shins. The shines. 11:49 a.m. This was just yesterday. 52 items, invoice number 7012. Look at the total, 151.20. 1 on either side of the 5. 11 L even, the parallels of the lights of life, of the sun, El Sol and Luna, the moon, mono, of monotheism, of Yah, Jah, of Jacques, Jacob. 20, 5-2 on either side here, and the time. The number of items, 52. 5-2, 5-2, 5 and 2, 7, 7, 7, 7012. 52. At 11/31, 7001 invoice number 11, and then the total 4671, and then the tax 151. $81.29 total at 12/28. 1228 8129. 812 at the beginning of the total. Time 1228 821 821 812. Which is what? 8 and 1 9 2 11. L even. L even. Of the parables, of the fables, of the Taurus stories, the rotaries of the Tarot, of Taurus and Aries. $5:23 p.m. 42 items. 4, 8, 15, 16, 23, 42. 104.88. Subtotal $1 tax exactly, bringing the total to 105.88. Cash paid 100 even, bringing the debit to 588. Invoice number 0677. Enter 77. Remember that episode of Lost? Christ equals 77. Jack Shepard. Dr. Jack Shepard, a spinal surgeon. Jack's from Jacob. Jacob's ladder is the spine that binds the Bible of the parables. And he sees God face to face at Peniel or Pineal at the top of the spinal S-pine L column of the backbone, of the pen that's mightier than the sword, that penetrates the page of paper of papyrus, of the Papa Osiris, of the papal bulls, of the bulletins and the bullets, and the targets, the Taurus gets, of the torso. Cerebellum is where Taurus is, the bell of the bull, the Lord. Baal, the motor cortex that runs the engine of the origins of the genes of Isis, of genetics and eugenics. 5:30 p.m., total 2420, number of items 10. 10, 20, 30. $4:19 p.m., invoice number 7138, total 1904 at 4:19 p.m. 1904, see that? Total, and then look at the time. 0419 p.m. 0419, 1904. Time and total. Here's the one with the story. This man usually comes in with his family, his daughters and his daughter and son and his wife. And he said to me right when he came up, because he knows that I'm into this phenomenon and with, you know, this mathemagic, synchronistic phenomena, he said he's been seeing 16 everywhere. And look what his total ends up being, 38, 48, 8 and 8, 16. And before I rang his 20 items up, or as I was doing it, ringing it up, and before totaling it, I was telling him about me and the number 16. that he would come up to me and say that I hadn't told. I'm pretty sure I hadn't told him my thing with it at that before yesterday, anything about it. And because he just said to me, he was asking me what 16 was about, and I said, well, for me personally, it's huge. Go back and watch my other videos. I'm not going to go over all of it right now because I get 2-3 more of these to share before parting with you for today. And we'll say have a happy day. Have a good time. 1:20 p.m. 12:22 total. 1222 120 p.m. $26 items, 7188 total. 2 and 6, 8. God equals 26. Trump equals 88. Christ equals 77. Jesus equals 74, and occult equals 74. Occult as in mystical, hidden, concealed. 24 items, 144 tax, 8816 subtotal. Invoice number 7072 at 1:24. 24 items at 1:24 p.m.